Have you ever heard of Alcatraz, the infamous island prison? It was said to be escape-proof. But what if I told you that one man, with nothing but a sharpened spoon, managed to pull off one of the most audacious prison breaks in history? This is the story of Frank Morris, the mastermind behind the legendary 1962 escape from Alcatraz. Frank Morris wasn't your typical inmate. He was exceptionally intelligent, with an IQ rumored to be in the top 2% of the population. This brilliant mind, however, was often used for a life of crime. By the time he was sent to Alcatraz, he had a long rap sheet of burglaries, bank robberies, and multiple prison escapes. The authorities thought sending him to The Rock would be the end of his escape attempts. They were wrong. Alcatraz was designed to be the ultimate fortress. Surrounded by the freezing, treacherous waters of the San Francisco Bay, with its powerful currents, it was considered a one-way trip for any convict. The prison security was state-of-the-art for its time. Cells were made of reinforced concrete, steel bars were checked daily, and guards conducted head counts constantly, day and night. The psychological warfare was just as potent. Inmates were told over and over again that escape was impossible. It was a place designed to break spirits. But Frank Morris's spirit was not easily broken. Soon after arriving, he began to observe. He noticed a critical flaw in the prison's design. The concrete around the ventilation grates in the cells was old and had been weakened by the salty, humid air. He realized that with the right tools and enough patience, he could chip away at the wall and create an opening. Now, where do you get tools in a maximum security prison? This is where the genius of the plan truly shines. Morris and his accomplices, brothers John and Clarence Anglin, began to collect seemingly harmless items. The most crucial tool was a simple spoon, stolen from the mess hall. They painstakingly sharpened its handle against the concrete floor of their cells, turning it into a makeshift chisel. They also fashioned a drill from the motor of a stolen vacuum cleaner and created a periscope from polished metal to watch the guards. The work was slow and nerve-wracking. Every night, during the prison's designated music hour, they would use the sound of an accordion to mask the noise of their digging. They'd chip away at the concrete, bit by bit, for hours on end. The music hour was their only cover. A small window of opportunity to work towards freedom. Imagine the tension, digging with a spoon while a guard could walk by at any moment. To hide their progress, they created fake ventilation grates out of cardboard and paint, meticulously matching the color of the surrounding wall. But what about the head counts? The guards would shine their flashlights into the cells throughout the night to check on the inmates. This is where the plan reached a new level of creativity. Using a mixture of soap, toilet paper, and hair stolen from the prison barbershop, they sculpted incredibly realistic dummy heads. They painted them with flesh-toned paint, even adding real human hair to make them look more convincing. At night, they would place these dummy heads on their pillows, tuck them under the blankets, and slip out through the holes they had dug. The guards, peering into the dark cells, saw what they expected to see: sleeping inmates. Their escape route was a narrow, unguarded utility corridor that ran behind the cells. This dark, dusty space was a maze of pipes and wires. For months, they used this hidden passageway as their secret workshop. They climbed to the top of the cell block, 3 stories up, and set up a clandestine workspace on the roof. Here they assembled their final piece of equipment, a raft. They had stolen over 50 raincoats, the standard-issue rubberized kind given to inmates. They used steam pipes to heat-seal the seams, creating an inflatable raft large enough for 3 men. They even crafted wooden paddles. Their plan wasn't just to get out of the building, it was to conquer the treacherous waters of the bay. On the night of June 11th, 1962, everything was ready. After the final head count, Morris and the Anglin brothers placed their dummy heads in their beds, squeezed through the holes in their cells for the last time, and climbed to the roof. Under the cover of darkness, they inflated their raft and launched it into the icy waters of the San Francisco Bay, disappearing into the night. The next morning, the prison was in chaos. The dummy heads were discovered, and the alarm was sounded. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in its history. Boats and helicopters scoured the bay and the surrounding areas. They found pieces of a paddle and a deflated life vest washed up on Angel Island. And later, a wallet containing photos and names belonging to one of the Anglin brothers, carefully wrapped in plastic. But the men themselves were never found. Did they make it? That's the question that has fascinated people for decades. The official story from the FBI is that they drowned in the cold, rough waters. The currents are notoriously strong, and the water temperature is dangerously low. It's a plausible theory. Surviving that crossing in a homemade raft would have been a near impossible feat. However, tantalizing clues have emerged over the years. The Anglin family has claimed to have received postcards and messages from the brothers after the escape. A photo surfaced in 2015, allegedly showing John and Clarence Anglin on a farm in Brazil in the 1970s. Facial recognition experts have suggested it's highly likely to be them. There were also reports of a deathbed confession from a man claiming he helped the trio escape and get to South America. Adding to the mystery, a letter, supposedly written by an elderly John Anglin, was sent to the San Francisco Police Department in 2013. The author claimed that Frank Morris died in 2008 and Clarence in 2011. He stated that he was the last one alive and was suffering from cancer, offering to turn himself in for a year of medical treatment. The FBI analyzed the letter, but the results were inconclusive. So what do you think? Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers pull off the impossible, outsmarting the most secure prison in the world with just a spoon and their wits? Or did they meet their end in the cold, dark waters of the bay? Their bodies were never recovered, leaving the case officially open to this day. The story of the Alcatraz escape is more than just a prison break. It's a testament to human ingenuity, patience, and the unyielding desire for freedom. It shows that even in the most hopeless situations, a determined mind can find a way. Frank Morris proved that the most powerful tool isn't a weapon or a key, but a brilliant plan and the will to see it through, even if it starts with something as simple as a spoon. The escape led to major changes in the federal prison system, and less than a year later, Alcatraz was permanently closed. Its operating costs were too high, and its facilities were crumbling, a fact Morris had exploited so brilliantly. Today, Alcatraz is a popular tourist attraction, where millions come to hear the story of its most famous escapees. The cells of Morris and the Anglins are preserved, with the fake heads still lying in their beds, a permanent tribute to the men who vanished from the rock. Thank you so much for watching. What do you believe happened to them? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible tales from history. See you in the next video.